What if you want to get started with Google Ads, but you're not sure if Google search ads are the right fit? Today, we have a special crossover episode with Jenna Harding of the Shiny New Clients podcast. We were guests on each other's podcasts, a year and a half ago. And at that time, I shared with Jenna's audience Google Ads for beginners, how to know if you're ready to run ads and how to get started with Google Ads. So I will link that Shiny New Clients episode in this episode description. Jenna wanted to talk again, and I was so game because she said that episode has been really, really popular with her audience. Could we talk more about Google Ads for beginners? And so I suggested we talk about what are ways to get started with Google Ads beyond just search. Although we thought we'd have an agenda here, we started recording and Jenna and I just had a real talk conversation. At the end, I also turned the tables to make sure Jenna could share some of her best tips with you about how to get started with organic social media to grow your own business too. I'm your host, Jyll Saskin-Gales. I spent 6 years working for big brands at Google, and now I work for you. This is Inside Google Ads, episode 85, featuring Jenna Harding, Getting Started with Google Beyond Search. Last conversation was very much like, should you even use Google Ads? And if you do, what are like the bare bones thing you need to know to get started? So in this conversation, what I want to talk about is how can you get started with Google Ads as an add-on to what's already working in your business, going beyond search. I released this free YouTube video. It's a 1-hour Gmail ads masterclass. So it's like all about Gmail ads, beginning to end. And I designed it so if you're like an email marketer, you could learn about Gmail ads, right? Or if you're like an organic, content creator, you don't use ads at all, Gmail ads can be a great add-on, and it's doing really well.
Like, I don't even know what that is.
You don't even know what Gmail ads are? See, there you go. There are ads in Gmail on the social tab, the promotions tab, and they've been there for more than a decade, ads in Gmail, but there's a new feature in Google Ads that lets you like just show ads on Gmail without having to do a bunch of other stuff. And so that's why I created this video.
Wait, I'm opening my Gmail.
It has to be your personal Gmail, not like your
work.
This space doesn't fit.
I'll go to my personal one.
Yeah. And then do you have like the social tab or the promotions tab, or do you just have one inbox?
I have a categories and there's like social and updates with 1,000.
Yeah. So if you go to social or to updates, then you might see ads there.
I don't.
Okay, I'll show you on my screen what it looks like because I have them in mine.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. So this is my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go to promotions, like here's an ad from Lego. See? Sponsored. And here's an ad from Spotify. And here's an ad from Wellino. And if I open it, it's like an ad.
What?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
And these aren't, sometimes the ads will put a giant picture in your inbox. Anyway, I have examples of it. This is exactly why I made this 1-hour Gmail ads course. Yeah.
Like, I don't see those ads, but if my clients do, I want my face there.
100%. And so if you already have an email list, you can reach the same people this way. Or if you want to target people who recently started a business or people who are similar to your existing customers.
Part of me does resent, this is the episode now. We're in it. We're not discussing what we're going to talk about. We're here. We've arrived in it. Like, it does have me resenting that like everything is ad space. Like I think I mentioned this before on a podcast. I used to know this guy who worked for a schmorn company.
Yep.
And his whole job was to find new places to put ads on the schmorn websites. And then also when you're watching like hockey games, isn't it fascinating how the walls of the arena change? And then I was just thinking, if you were streaming this on your personal account, am I seeing different ads on the walls than you're seeing on yours? I don't know if that's true, but I see Canadian ads for sure. So I assume other people aren't seeing the Canadian ads.
The way I think, obviously I'm biased. I work with Google Ads for a living. I used to work at Google. But the way I think about it is like, we get all this stuff for free, but it's not actually free. We don't pay money to use Gmail. We don't pay money to use YouTube. We don't pay money to use Google, but we're paying with our eyeballs. It has to be paid for by someone. So it's paid for by advertisers. And in the grand scheme of things, that's a trade-off that most people are willing to make.
I'm for sure willing to make it for YouTube. I'm not paying for YouTube ever. They tell me to pay them every single day. They're like, you can do this without ads. I'm like, dude, I'm here for the ads. It's fine. I'll just
see. I do pay for it, but that's because my daughter uses YouTube Kids, and so she has like an ad-free YouTube experience. But for
Well,
myself, I love seeing ads on YouTube because that's a huge page to see, like ads and what my competitors are doing and what, is going on in the industry by seeing what ads I get served. I go ad hunting on the YouTube homepage.
do you really? That's fascinating. For me, I think I'm just used to it. And it's like, that's just how it always was. Kind of like how now that like Amazon has ads, I don't like them. But when I was a kid and commercials came on, it was just like, yeah, this is just a commercial. That's just how the show is free.
Even like,
Right.
have you seen the Cat's Eye Gap ad that's everywhere? My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Have you seen it? No? Well, anyway, it's Cat's Eye, who's this girl group doing the milkshake dance, and it's a Gap denim commercial. It's very viral, and I knew my daughter would love it, so I've showed it to her, and now she like asks to see a Gap ad every day.
Well, the other thing to think about for business owners, like, and the reason I want to bring up like resenting ad space is because, like, to you, not to offend you or anything, because, like, I mean,
No.
I sell too, but because I know that other people feel that same way, and then don't use it because of how they feel, and then guess who sweeps in? The giant companies, your other people that sell what you sell. If you don't market yourself, if you don't take the ad space, someone else is still going to take it. It's not going to not exist. It's just going to be somebody else that gets that work.
And it's something I hear a lot. Well, I don't click on ads, so people must not click on ads. And I'm like, that's obviously not true, because then Google wouldn't be a multi-billion-dollar company built on the back of ads. But also, like, you are not necessarily your target customer. I would say, first of all the companies have done a great job of making ads look less like ads. Like, it is not obvious anymore. Even in the Gmail ads I just showed you, it says in tiny little writing sponsored. When search results, tiny little thing says ad now. It used to be big and yellow and say ad. Now it's tiny black sponsored. So I think people do click on ads without realizing it. And even if you don't, that doesn't mean your target customers don't. Like, people are lazy. They don't want to scroll down below the AI overview and then the ad, to eventually get there.
No. And I just joined this like higher level mastermind. And something that blew my mind in there was I did not meet other people who had built businesses like mine organically like I did. I teach organic. And when I got in there, everyone was just honestly smack talking organic because they all use ads. And that's like their whole thing. So I was like, oh, should I be doing this? Because I'm like the anomaly. But the people that I work for, typically, maybe you, dear listener, are like still trying to make 50K, 100K a year for the most part. And you're just not ready to invest that much of your money back into getting new clients. It's just, you don't want those margins.
Which, I mean, for me, like, my business is Google ads, but I've grown my whole business organically. Like, when I've run ads for my business, it's because I need to test something in order to be able to do my job better. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to test this new campaign or test that campaign, not even trying to get results from my business, just because I'm trying to test all the latest features so that I can teach them and use them. But people are often really surprised to hear that. And there's no right or wrong way. But, what I did want to talk about today was just all these different ways you can use Google ads beyond just the Google search ad that we all know and love or hate to grow your business, because Google ads has evolved so much and there are so many more ways to use it than just search.
Okay, so firstly, I want to know in what you just pulled up in your inbox, that was like Lego, pretty huge company, we can agree. So are there smaller businesses that are jumping on this, or is it mostly the big conglomerates using the Gmail ads?
Smaller businesses can jump on this. Like, again, I did it for my own business in order to be able to create a course about it. But you'll probably see a lot more larger businesses because they have more customer data, more ability to make ad creative. If you think, a smaller business who's used to maybe just search ads, all you need is text, right? Your headline, your description. A search ad is just text. To have a Gmail ad, suddenly you need image or video. Yeah, you can have video in Gmail ads, which is also brand new. To have a YouTube ad, right? Like, you need a video, and it doesn't have to be high production value, but it's a lot easier to ask ChatGPT to give you a few headlines and boom, your ad's done, versus having to have a compelling image that's going to engage someone enough to leave their Gmail inbox and go to your website. So like Lego, I've been checking out the Keith Haring Lego set and not buying it because it's $150, but like, I do really want it. So they keep serving me that in my Gmail ads. The art generation, because my daughter's really into that. Mini Miyosh, I have kids, the clothing. So I think that's another way people don't think to use the Gmail ads. It's really great for remarketing and just reaching people who visited your website, didn't buy, And now you can show them the exact products they were checking out in their inbox when they're checking their promotions and looking for sales and deals and what's new.
Oh my gosh, especially around Black Friday when people like
Yes.
are actively looking for promos.
So yes, Gmail ads, great. And so you can target people who've never been to your website before based on their interests. You can target people who have been to your website before. You can even target your email list. And it's like, well, why would I do that? I can reach these people for free. But we know like the inbox is crowded, especially around the holidays. When you're a sponsored ad, you're either right up top or near the top. And sometimes just that increased visibility and that deeper reach among your audience can be so valuable.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think, of course they're putting you at the top.
Right. Or sometimes what happens with the Gmail ads, not in the examples I just showed you, but in the video, the free course I released, I show that sometimes like whatever image is in the email will actually show in the message preview there. So it'll say like, from Jenna, Magic Marketing Machine, and then like a picture of you right there amongst all the other normal emails they have. So it can just be super engaging and a great way to stand out.
I am jumping on this at the speed of light.
Yes, good. Well, I have more ideas for you. That was just number one for today.
What's more? What's more?
All right, give you more. So that's number one that I think a lot of people don't realize is if you're doing email marketing, or even if you're not doing email marketing and want to get started, Gmail ads can be a great complement. Number two opportunity that I only learned about recently is how on Instagram you can boost a post? You can do that on YouTube now. It's called YouTube Promote. And if you want to turn your YouTube videos into ads, but the idea of trying to open up Google Ads and create a campaign is like way too overwhelming, you can now promote a YouTube video, a short or a regular video, and you just tell your budget, what countries you want to target, the dates you want it to run, if your goal is views or subscribers or website visits, and then boom, it goes and does it for you. And so this is also pretty new. I tested it out. I did a podcast episode about it on July 24th. So look at the Inside Google Ads podcast, July 24th, 2025 to see more on that. But really easy way to just boost the reach of your YouTube videos. And in my test, I was able to get YouTube subscribers for $1 per subscriber, which is really, really cheap. So I would also say if you're someone who does a lot on Instagram or does a lot on TikTok and you're just getting started with YouTube and feel kind of like, oh, I don't have many subscribers, like just throw a couple $100 at it, get a bunch of subscribers, get yourself started. No shame in the game. Like that's what a lot of the big players are doing. So you can run it with the goal of getting subscribers, with the goal of getting views, or with the goal of website clicks, getting people to leave YouTube and come to your website. And YouTube takes care of all the targeting for you, all the creative variations, so you don't need to worry about a lot of the technical details that you would need to worry about if you're running a Google Ads campaign.
The difference here is if you have a YouTube ad, it would play before or during a different video that you clicked. And what you're saying with Boost is you type in your search terms of whatever you're looking for on YouTube, and my boosted post is going to show up among the library of choices.
Slightly different than that. So the way YouTube Promote works is whether you run a video campaign via Google Ads or a demand gen campaign via Google Ads or YouTube Promote, like however you choose to use your video as an ad, there are 3 places that ad can show on YouTube. So the first place it can show is you go to watch a video. Before you can watch the video, an ad starts playing and you hover and wait for that skip ad button to come up in 6 seconds. Yes, we all do, right? So that's called in-stream, and that's one of the places your ad can show. And if the person skips the ad, then you as an advertiser don't pay. You only pay if they watch at least 30 seconds of the ad or the end, whichever comes first. So that's pretty cool. So that's one place. The second place it can play is what's called in-feed. So that means that the user is shown the thumbnail of your video ad. They have to click on it to choose to watch it. So either in search results or on the YouTube homepage or watch next. So let's say they finish watching a video and then all those thumbnails come up of like what you could watch next. So that's called in-feed, and you only pay if the person clicks on your video and it loads and they choose to watch it. So that's another place your video ad could show. And then the third is shorts, right? In YouTube Shorts, which we think of as mobile, but actually apparently watch time for YouTube Shorts on connected TVs has been skyrocketing. I know, go figure. And on Shorts, you only pay if they watch at least 10 seconds of your ad or the end, whichever comes first. So again, if someone's scrolling through Shorts, they see your ad, 3 seconds later, they scroll away, you still got the impression, but you don't even pay. So whether you promote or run like a full Google Ads campaign, your video ads on YouTube can show in all three of those places, depending on the video format, etc.
You know why I'm really excited about this conversation and it's like lighting me up? Sometimes in business, I feel like you have what you have been doing, you have what you have been introduced to, and it is working okay, or it's not working sometimes. But it's easy for my brain to be like, well, I already know everything. And I know all my options, and no new options will ever be identified to me. And you're sitting here telling me there's all sorts of stuff that's happening that I had never even considered. That I don't even, it just like opens up the world of possibility and then reminds you that there's lots of ideas you haven't had yet and great potential that you haven't thought of or been introduced to.
I'm so happy to hear that and so flattered, first of all, because I learn new things from you when I tune in first thing Monday to your podcast every single week. And that's exactly why I wanted to talk about this today, because so often when we talk about Google ads, we talk about Google search ads. Understandable. They're amazing. They're like magic, but there's so many other things to do that can sometimes be easier or maybe might just make more sense for your business.
Yeah. And like full disclosure, I just spent about $5,000 on Facebook ads and made about 300 bucks. The whole thing was not a great experiment. My threat cart wasn't tracking things. Nothing was getting tracked. So it was a huge issue. And then I don't know what it was, but like we sell so much organically. Obviously, my messaging is not an issue. My creative is not an issue. I don't know exactly where the breakdown happened. But like I said, I met all these people and they were all making all their money through Facebook ads. And so I was like, okay, well, I know they work. Like they don't not work. Exact same reasoning as you said. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on the back of ads. So I know it works, but these did not. And so that kind of like got me down. And part of me wants to not tell me what you think about this, because part of me wants to not have an analytical or business person's brain about it and just be like, this is a sign from the universe that there's something else I was supposed to do instead. And that this isn't the journey for me. Which isn't the practicalist. I always say I don't want to run my business on vibes, and then I end up running it on vibes.
Well, I will say, first of all, although there was no monetary return, you did learn something from that in that it didn't work from you. And so to me, I say like, that's learning. Great. The tracking issue is absolutely a problem, because if you're not able to track things, then Facebook or Google isn't able to track things. And so it's just flying blind, and like whoever gets to their destination flying blind. Right. So that's an issue. Too, that would be in any kind of campaign. But the last thing I'll say is I've also experimented with running ads for my business. I'm an expert at running ads, and like ads also don't work for me. And my theory, and I wonder if this resonates with you, is because the reason most of my clients come to me is because they followed me on social media for a long time. They watch my videos or listen to my podcast every week. They read all my newsletters. And so by the time they're ready to buy, they really trust me and they already know what I'm going to say almost. We built this really personal connection and then they buy. And the businesses that do really well with ads, their messaging, their approach is totally different. They don't have this like organic, long-term trust relationship. Instead, they have these like amazing sales tactics and these different marketing messages that bring someone from I just heard of you to I'm ready to buy, like boom, right there. And for whatever reason, my business just doesn't work that way. And I'm okay with that. But I don't know. I'm curious if you think it might be similar for you, because I know at least my experience with you is like, I consume all your content and I have for years. And therefore I trust everything you say. But like an ad can't achieve that in one day, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, then you get to the strategies of running an ad to a lead magnet so that the lead magnet warms people up and then they become on your email list. And one of my favorite things to do would be then in those early emails, be like, I just talked about this on Instagram, and then link them to your socials. And now you have them on your socials. And that is always how I've always done it. So yes, that's how people work with me because that's how I've always done it. But I think there has to be a way to make the paid stuff work. I'm determined. Let's talk again this next year. I will make it work. And then let the content skills pour over. We did run an ad. The one thing that was pretty successful is running an ad to a few of my pre-existing popular videos. So it's just like $5 or $10 a day, brings people, I think it's $5 a day, brings people to those popular videos, and those have ManyChat installed. So sometimes people follow me from them, but often they put in the keyword and then I get that organic, they get some sort of freebie or something.
They end into flywheel. And that's why sometimes, there's 3 ways to run ads on YouTube with Google. There's the YouTube promote we talked about, which is like very simple. You do it within YouTube Studio, just boost. There's a video campaign where the objective of a video campaign can be to get views or to get reach, but it's really just that kind of reach and engagement. Or there's something called a demand gen campaign, which can have videos in it where your goal is like website visits or conversions. And so I find a mistake people often make is like, oh, well, of course I want sales. Of course I want conversions. Boom, demand gen. But it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you're better off actually just running your video ads on a views objective or a reach objective. So, like, look, I'm reaching new people who fit my audience objectives. I'm reaching new people who are watching the kind of YouTube channels that suggest they're my ideal customer. I'm getting more subscribers. I'm getting more views. I'm bringing more people into my ecosystem, and that all of my existing organic stuff that works will be able to take over from there. But it's hard to do that because the payoff can take time.
Yeah. And it just so goes to show you can't just copy what somebody else is doing. Like, you've got your different skills, and time is a factor. Okay. Oh, all right. Listen, there is so much potential. If nothing else, dear listener, I hope that you have some new ideas of potential of ways that clients can be flowing into your business. Maybe you're like, what, shorts? I never thought about shorts. Why don't I repurpose my Instagram content on shorts and then maybe run like boost a short or something, So lots of ideas. And Jyll, you brought a free training. You mentioned it earlier, but a free training that people can watch.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in Gmail ads as a way to get started, I released this free 1-hour video on YouTube, complete Gmail ads course. First, I show you what Gmail ads actually look like, and then talk you through step-by-step the targeting, the bidding, the creative, optimizing, everything you need to know about Gmail ads. And I decided to release that for free rather than make it part of my Google Ads for Beginners course, because I just saw there's a universe of people out there, perhaps you're listening or watching right now, who had never even considered that Google Ads could be for you. But knowing now some of these possibilities, maybe Gmail ads could be a really way to get started, especially ahead of the holiday season. So we'll make sure to drop that link below this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, Jenna, so you are an expert, well, at many things, but when I think of Jenna Harding, what I think about is an expert at growing your business and your personal brand and getting clients through organic social media. And that's how I built my business, totally by accident. But I know there's a lot of Google Ads practitioners in my circle who want to get started. They know I should be creating video content, or I should be on Instagram, or I should be on TikTok. But the idea of getting started feels so overwhelming. And I'm not so helpful to them because my advice is we'll just go do it. So I'm curious, as someone who works with so many service-based business owners and helping them get started strategically with getting more clients from Instagram, what are some first steps someone could take to start getting into organic content creation for business?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the best tip is, okay, we'll just go do it.
Okay, you back me up. Cool.
I'll back you up on that. Yeah. I get a lot of people that slide into my DMs and they're like, I'm starting this new account, I'm starting this new business. What should my first post be? And I couldn't care less because no one's going to see it. Like, that first post, the fewest amount of people that are ever going to see anything you post are going to see that first post. So just start whipping stuff up. Just start getting probably reels, probably short ones under a minute. Just start creating. And then you're probably going to even, the stuff that does well, a couple months from now, once a few hundred people are following you, you can reshare that because they haven't seen it yet. It really is about playing. And the less you post, the more pressure you put on every single post and yourself. So when you have folks that are like, I'm just starting out, so I'm just going to do like 2 or 3 posts a week, I know that feels like what's realistic for you right now as someone who's just getting into it. But what I've witnessed is people then put so much pressure on those posts because they're like, well, this post needs to sell something because I'm here to sell something. But then I heard not all my posts are supposed to sell. So this one, I guess, will be a how-to, but I'll just kind of like sell at the ending. And then you're sitting in Canva for 4 hours making a carousel, and then and still only 10 people see it because you haven't got the quantity up. So at the very beginning, just make a bunch of stuff. And also, something that people are scared to do but should be doing is just starting from your current account. So especially if you're like a solopreneur, small business owner, and you're the face of your business, like just start from the account you already have if you're comfortable with that, because typically your first bunch of followers are going to be people you already know, people from your network, family, friends, current clients, and those people are ripe to send you referrals too.
That's such a great point, that it's not about brand new account and I have my logo and my business name. I'm going to reach a new audience. Like, yeah, most of us, when we start our business, it does come through referrals and people we know, not necessarily a stranger on day 2.
Yeah. And I mean, that's coming from, I never used my account to show children or my auntie's birthday or anything like that. So it was really easy for me to switch mine over. I guess if you do like post your kids on your account and that's all it is, that's not really what I'm talking about. But a lot of business owners have already in some capacity been using specifically Instagram in some way, or like talking about work a bit. So if you're not married to keeping your own platform to show pictures of your kids, then you can just pivot it. And those first few hundred people are going to now know what you're doing, be excited about it, be hyping up your posts for you. So people are scared to do that. And I think maybe it's because they don't feel like it's a valid business if it's friends and family following, you know, but like every business, your friends and family are supporters of it. So that's it, kind of get in our head at that point. Okay, so that's on some of the head stuff that happens at the beginning. Should we talk more practical action?
Yeah, give me the what do I do?
Firstly, we want to choose a primary platform. You got the very like masculine energy Alex Hermosi's of the world. Wait, hold on. No, Alex Hermosi says choose one, and the other guy, Gary V, he says be on all of them. So they conflict. I just saw people arguing about this on Threads. They conflict. What do I do? So my stance is you choose one, get really good at it instead of being only okay on many and like just wondering if one will magically take off. Get really good at one. And then you can casually repurpose content on other platforms. But the more you split your focus, like the more work you're creating for yourself. We're on Instagram. We're choosing Instagram. We're going to post every day of the week, let's say 5 days a week, and aim for a lot of videos under a minute, because Instagram has told us that they're less likely to show videos over a minute to people who don't yet follow you. And since you're new, people don't yet follow you. So you want to keep the videos short. Be generous in what you give away. So a lot of people will give away the what and the why, but not the how. If you're just starting out, I want you to give away some of the how. I want you to give away some of your best tips in bite sizes. I want you to think about the questions your ideal clients have about what it is you do and answer all of their questions. And that's going to be a really good starting place for just starting to toy with different types of content and resisting the urge to just sell all the time, which is most people's first instinct.
I love that. And I remember we had a conversation about this like a year or two ago when you were in Toronto, like how much do you give away versus how much you hold back? And we were talking about like, just give it all away for free, because most people won't do it. That's the honest to God truth. Most people won't do it, even if you tell them exactly what to do. And that's where they're going to hire you to do it for them or help them do it.
Yeah. And you can find like give everything away in one department, but not the rest. For some reason, I don't share a lot on how to actually make growth content. And I just have this, and everybody wants it. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but I just have this thing in my head where I'm like, that's something I don't give away for free. Like I'll give away like everything else except that. But then I'm able to still be super generous and everything. And like, here's a content idea. Here's a template. Here's, let me explain sales psychology to you. Let me tell you how to grow your business. Let me tell you how I grew my business. Let me tell you what I tried that didn't work. Like all of that is really interesting content for people to follow, and it brings them in and then it dumps them into your funnel. That sounded aggressive. I don't want us to picture dumping our leads, but like it attracts people to us that we can then serve in different ways.
I'm the same. For me, my holdback, with a few exceptions, is I generally don't open up and share my screen and show it to you in Google Ads. I made an exception for the Gmail ads free course I released, but like on my podcast every week, I will talk about the ins and outs and every minutia, every little thing you ever wanted to know and didn't even know you needed to know about Google Ads. Like I will share everything I know, but I don't show you. If you want to see me do it in real time in Google Ads, that's in my course. Yeah. But I'll talk, answer questions all day until it comes to let's open it up, or until it comes to, okay, now your account, what should you personally do? Well, we got to be on a call for me to answer that for you.
Oh, 1,000,000%. See, that's such a good, so when we say give it all away, we don't mean work for free. do give lots away. And then kind of you're going to be feeling out over time what people are coming to you to pay for. But then also the other thing that people are talking about a lot right now is information is available for free thanks to the ever-growing presence of AI and ChatGPT. Information is available. So if you try and hoard information, that you're not really going to get anywhere because everyone can access the information. So what do they want? Well, then what are people paying for? Well, then why are they working with us? For you. For you, for your metaphors, for the way you explain things, for the way you talk to people, for the way people feel when they talk to you. And then how can we showcase that content? Get on
Yes.
video, talk to them in your content, show them you in their content, show them evidence that you do know what you're talking about and you have got results for other people. And that is marketing.
Absolutely. And what's the best way for them to get started in Jenna's world?
I'm going to link you to my Strategic Stories Challenge, which is this little challenge that tells you everything to post in your stories for a week. And it's like, it runs the gamut. Some days you're telling a story, some days you're talking to people, introducing yourself. And then at the end of the week, you sell. And I've had people tell me that their engagement has skyrocketed, that people are DMing them that they haven't heard from in forever. But it's like a very easy pace. It's going to take like 10 minutes a day, easy pace, low stakes, because your stories disappear after 24 hours. And people expect stories to be very unpolished and personable because it's modeled after Snapchat. So people don't expect you to put something in there that's been like, that has like a lighting setup and it's edited, right? They just expect it to feel more like a FaceTime call. It's just $10, very popular, a very good way to ease yourself into creating content every day.
Okay, and I'm going to grab it too because I definitely need that. I can't even remember the last time I posted my Instagram story. So I will be doing, what is it called again, Jenna?
Strategic Stories, the 5-day challenge.
I will be doing your Strategic Stories Challenge. Thank you so much, Jenna. Glad we were able to do this Shiny New Clients Inside Google Ads crossover episode. And I will talk to you soon, my dear.
We'll see ya.